Hello and welcome back to InfraSpace. In the last episode, we were working on red science and supplying it with the supplies it needed until we realized that, well, we needed another habitat district. So we set that up, and it is in the middle of upgrading. They're getting a little sticky on good meals and home robots. I did expand the home robots by another block. I think I might have to expand good meals by another bit too, because it's taken them a little bit of time to get there. What's weird is this is not telling me that I need more. Actually, it's telling me I'm producing 34.1 more than I need to. So I'm not sure why they're not distributing properly. I have a suspicion though, and my suspicion is that maybe I do in fact want these distribution arrows on all of the production things that go to supply all of the habitats. Maybe that affects the way they distribute them to distribute them more evenly. So I'm going to test this theory out with computers and good food, because computers seems to be also having a bit of a problem. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And something else, because this one's decided to downgrade itself again. Computers, okay. Home appliances are doing fine. It's computers. And we better be careful, because this is going to need more survival food, too, if it downgrades too much for too long. So hopefully they will straighten that stuff out. Otherwise, we'll have to put some more food back in there. This one is, though, the new one, and it's about half up to level 6 already, maybe a little under half, 40% or something. And then there's a handful of 5s, but we're really waiting currently on the home robots to fill out. Maybe I should add another block of home robot makers, but I did add one. So we may need another one. We possibly should make another one. Let's do it. I also moved the sand from over here over to here. As we learned in some of these newer builds, having stuff cross a major artery like this causes all kinds of congestion. The aluminum and copper and iron were all way backed up here, so moving the sand over here got rid of that congestion completely. Let's go ahead and put these in. It can't hurt too much. Too much. I'm going to wait on that one. This goes here and here. Even though this isn't the most optimized build anymore in terms of the stuff we've been working on, it's still a decent build, so I'm going to keep doing it. Oops, I put that one down wrong. That's fine. This goes here. May need a little bit more iron supplying this area. We'll have to see. And then this one. And you get moved over to this side. I think that's all correct. The zone is fine. Or the district or the whatever. I guess I could have just extended these districts down to encompass the sand. That would have worked. I don't know. Well, I see a huge amount of copper and iron rushing in here. So I'm hoping we still have a sufficient amount. There's no real way to tell. So I think what we should do is we should go... Yeah, see, they're downgrading over here. I think we should go and work on red science some more, because we're nearly there. We have... Oh, we needed motors. I forgot all about motors. Well, let's take care of motors. And motors then need steel and more copper. So we'll do a motor here. Put the steel in here. And we might need some more carbon for that, but we'll see. These guys need carbon, though, too. So did I intend... I don't remember if I intended or not. Iron. Copper. I think I intended for carbon from here to also supply this one, but I could be wrong on that. And I may need to add more carbon anyway. That should start the yellow science making, I think. Once we get the motors going, get our motors running. They're all rushing in here now. All the carbon is. That'll be fine. Iron should be coming in already anyway. And so we just need a uranium here then. I think. You are good. You are good except for we need more of the uranium to keep these going. Alright, let's come over here to our uranium deposit. It's up here on this mountain. So we'll need to scale the mountain. I think we'll just connect it off of this road. Let's do cheaper roads out to, let's see, out to about here. And we'll cut across. And that's not going to work, so I'm going to come this way. I think I'm going to go out kind of a reasonable distance here. And then come back up and into here. And then we'll connect from there. Because having this have more of the slope rather than climbing in this way, I think will work better. But we'll see, I guess. Let's do, I'm going to get square as I can. Yep. And 1, 2, good. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here. That's not good, but I think I might be able to make it work if I come over here. I saw it. There it is. And I cut this corner off, which I kind of wanted to do anyway. And I can probably do this one as well. Now let's do curve, 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 and curve. That works. And then up here, let's see where we can put these uranium mines at. I don't know how many we're going to need, but a couple probably would do. Let's do them... about there. Okay. Come this way. And then we can go like this. We can also come this way. Maybe. Snap, please. I'm just gonna do... maybe I can do this. I don't know if I can or not. No. Okay, we won't do that then. Thank you. Let's do this then. Slide this one over as far as it'll go. And put another one next to it. And then let's do a substation here. Sure. Let's also upgrade these roads. Enough power in network 2. Huh, you don't say. Let's get us here. Take that little stub of a road off. These can be upgraded all the way down. All the way down. All the way down. Okay. I'll paint this district in. And I will take uranium from said district to said other district. And then we need to bring power up here. Okay, so you have power here. Good. Let's go this way. And then we can come here. And then I think that won't work. Because it probably needs another power pole in the middle. We're just going to come around this mountain like this to there and then snap you in. Close that instead of following the road. I could probably move this intersection over to make this road a little bit more of an even curve, but I don't know. Maybe I can't be bothered. You're still complaining about motors. Is it because... why? Oh, it's just it hasn't made 10 of them yet. You make one motor every 24. You need 10 motors every 100, but there's boosting going on. Did I have more than one? Oh, I did have. I had 3 motors per each. Okay, we need more motors. How much steel for each? 3 also. Okay. Then we need to make this different. No, I'm just going to do it like this. Let's alternate them. Motor goes here. Steel goes here. Oops, I did the wrong road. Wrong road. There. And we might now need the more additional carbon for these. I forgot we needed this many. Go there. Go here. And you go here. And then I'll just bring this one down to there. Do this. And then this. And then this. Kind of. Kind of. Oh, and we need power out here too. That's a bummer. I think maybe I'll just bring the power down this way and then I'll cross to somewhere in this neighborhood. I think that'll be easiest. There you go. Power it up. We'll see as everything stabilizes whether we need more carbon or not. So I don't know if this is going to show me properly because we're producing so much and overproducing in some places anyway. Hopefully that's enough uranium. It's going to take a while for it to drive here. Hello, this is Future Wally. Past Wally muted his microphone a moment ago to cough and never came back. So I'm going to try and do something different here. I'm going to commentate after the episode, on the episode, and hopefully this makes some sense. We'll see. Instead of re-recording the whole episode, I'm going to just talk through what I'm doing, because I did a lot in this episode, and I don't want to lose it or try and redo it. So we were taking a look at how much of the radiation cores we needed, and we needed to produce a little bit more. So we added a second one, and this ends up working out pretty well. It produces enough. But then we figure out that we may not have enough yellow science. In fact, we don't have enough yellow science. So we end up trying to figure out how we want to build more. No, actually we're looking at red science, because this only produces one red science every 160 seconds. And we need to have more than that, because that's going to produce very, very slowly. And there's a lot of production that goes on here. And then we did figure out that we actually need to produce more yellow science. So we're going to have to look at doubling this yellow science portion of this build to produce enough yellow science to produce the red science that we get. So that whole component there needs to be moved or doubled in order to produce enough for the red science to be happy. So we're going to take this part apart here and try to come up with a new build for another build for yellow science. We're going to fit it in there. There should be enough space between the what we have and the sand miners, and in fact there is. So it actually fits pretty perfectly once we get to it. We came over here to check out what was going on with the upgrades, or the replacements, the repairs of the habitats, and we see that they're working a little bit better now, but it's taking a long time for the good food to get distributed. So I think, yes, I end up putting together another batch of good food, because we end up just realizing that we just aren't producing enough. Even though the game implies that we are, we just do not seem to be producing enough. And you can see we're a little bit short on both meat and vegetables, so we're going to add some more of those. That looked like it was going to be enough, but it actually won't be. We'll need another meat, I think, before the end of this. And that's enough vegetables, but we should put in another fertilizer just to make sure that we have enough fertilizer being made. It'll kind of spin up a little bit over time here. And I think we end up needing more than that. I waffled here on these vegetables, and I think, I ended up putting them in. And then we decided to also do another fertilizer farm soil enrichment facility. That's what they're called. Because those were not covered by the other one. You can see here we're a little bit short on meat again and fertilizer, so we need to add another meat. And I think I add 2 more fertilizers. Yeah, and I think that balanced it out correctly. And then we have to move on to looking at what's going on with the computers. We did add 2 more sets there, but I think we're going to end up adding 2 or 4 more to make this work out. Got to do my measurements. I think it was 7 and 12 or something like that. Everything must be precise. Everything must be grid aligned. And then that space there will be useful for another pair of them if we need it, which I don't think we end up needing it. But I can also put in more electronic circuits if we need to next to the recycling center, as we did in the previous, but next to the previous recycling center. You can see that it says we're producing way more computers than we need, but they just do not get sent out. I don't know why. I wish I did. So that portion is supporting the making of the AI control units. So we don't need to double that, but we do need to double the rest for yellow science. I must have been worried about uranium supplies. I was. Okay, so we added another uranium miner, and that should hopefully stabilize the uranium being provided to red science. And now I think it's time to expand out. Yeah, now we're going to expand these out. So it was 4, and then 1 for the extra road space. So I think I end up going out 9. We actually have to remove this road first, though. Which I think I do after I pause. Yeah, pause and then do it. We go up by 9. And I think the rest are 7. No, that one was 7 and then 5. And then some amount that we actually don't even need to do. I accidentally add another road there in the end that I don't need. So we'll do this and then we'll see it. And connect that back up again, and then I can turn that back on. But I didn't. I was trying to kind of fudge how long these should be, because these are all screwy, because I still don't know if the ratios are right. So we end up doing a lot of additional work trying to make sure the ratios are right. And then this one actually ends up being longer because I switch around the way that the yellow science line works. And I end up taking that road out because we don't actually need it. So I attempted to repaint these districts, and then I just realized that there's no way I'm going to get it right without the buildings there. So I'm going to switch really quickly here to... Oh, and I just decided just to make this one big district as opposed to making it two small ones, because it was going to be way too fiddly. Way too many fiddly bits. And then, of course, these are so tight that it just does not work out well. Once you do enough fiddling, then you kind of get it. So then I gave up and switched to making... just putting stuff down. I think I was going to go check the production, but then I realized that it wouldn't tell me anything true anyways, so why bother? Because it's for the whole base, and this is for the entire, this is just for this area. So we just have to go by the warnings that there's not enough. And just at this point I realized that we needed to not only handle some recycling out there, but that we would need to have some recycling here in this area we're making. But there happens to be a nice sweet spot right in there where it is on the other side too. So that works out really well. Kind of convenient. Ended up being 3 and 4 of those, and then 4 and 2 of the neuroprocessors, which fits really nicely. That part I was happy about. Again. And then this is when I realized that the science could actually be done a little bit differently and make a little more sense, because I can use this road instead of using that road. But then I need to add a leaf to this road. Just not enough room. And I don't even think that was enough. I think I had another stretch it out a little bit, because it was not going to be enough. Yeah, it's just a little bit short. Another 4 or 5 clicks, and then that was too many. There we go. So now we of course need to have some recycling out here too, and then we need to also bring power out to that endpoint. There it is, just lit up. So we need to add another distribution center, or a power substation down there. And so then I get the crazy idea to use the space there a little bit. Yeah, bring that down, bring this down, and then use the space there between the miners and the factories to collect all that stuff. Which works out really well, surprisingly well. And now we need to repaint our districts. So that one there is good. But then we need to paint the one for the electronics and the microprocessors, I think. Which I think I make it a little bit further south. I guess it works. It must work. And then we need one for the row that the science is in. Very, very careful. And I gotta fix the miners. like that. Oh, right, I need to replace these roads with the highways. And then I think I was wondering if I needed to add a different sand district, or if that was enough capacity on that one for everybody, in terms of road capacity. And there is enough road capacity. So we end up just connecting these up, and then kind of moving on. Sulfur goes to the science row. No aluminum or no concrete's needed in there. Iron is very greedy, so we'd have to connect a lot of iron up. Aluminum stays just there. Uranium likewise. Carbon needed some work. And I think I ended up wondering if I was going to have enough carbon here or not. But I think I do, and then I just push it into that district there. And I think that's fine. I think that works out okay. It seems like it's working out okay. Oops. Glad I caught that I oopsed there. And I missed the steel the first time through, so that was good to do. Or redo. Copper's needed in both of those two new districts. Motors are only needed in the one. Circuits are going to kind of mirror the one over there. Microchips likewise. Neuroprocessors kind of likewise. And then we don't need things like computers and home robots and high-tech tools. Those are all not made here. Iridium alloys going in there. No holodisplays, no propellant. No AI control unit. Radiation cores. Oh wait, the AI control units, yeah, they do. They actually stay in that district. So we leave those there. Same thing with the radiation cores. Blue science, we need to connect or force it to stay amongst itself. And then the yellow science can come over here. And then red science can actually go over to the lab. Which we still only have one lab, which I'm kind of interested about. But that works out well enough, I guess. So, even with all the stuff we were making, we still only need the one lab. And that was everything else is residential stuff, so we didn't need any of the others. So now this, once we get enough supplies in here, should be enough. It seems like it's going to be. I'm extending out the road, but I just indicated that I don't actually need to, because I think I can put a miner right there, and I can, or two. But then I noticed that traffic is a problem. So I start to think about, well, how can I reroute this copper traffic to not do what it's doing? And I looked at a couple things, and I eventually settled on routing the traffic north to be kind of coming in where the sand comes in. Because routing it south makes it compete with the iron and the uranium and the aluminum coming in on the main road, so it seems like it will work better there. But we also need a little bit more sand, so we add, I think, 6 more sand miners here. Yeah, 6 more. And that works out well enough once, of course, we extend the district. I was hoping, I think, that it was going to clear up as this stuff got handled, and maybe it would have, but it didn't look like it was going to clear up. It looked like it was getting worse, so this is why I chose to reroute the copper coming in. And then everything magically cleared up. So whether it was just the time or if it actually helped, the world may never know. But I figured there was enough traffic coming in across, from the iron and the uranium and aluminum and iridium alloy, for that matter, that routing the copper down, and the sulfur. The routing the copper down there would have been a problem. It may not have been. It may have been fine. But it's hard to say at this point. So finally I resign myself and just do it. And then I need to remove that little segment of road so that it becomes, or forces everyone to go the other way. And then these seem to flush out very fast there. Like they're already cleared. So I don't know if I really saved myself anything or if it just, I kind of caught, but there's some congestion there that's clearing up still. But it seems like maybe it would have just resolved itself in another minute anyway. It's really hard to say, but this seems to work out fine, kind of long term. So I'm fine with it. One of the things I noticed here is the trucks, instead of merging, like slowing down a little bit to merge, they all of a sudden slam on their brakes and force themselves to merge and slow everything else down in the process. And it'd be nice if their AI was a little bit smarter and could just slow down a little bit before it's time to merge, so that they merge kind of more smoothly. So the red science is producing, I think, stably now. We're producing enough yellow science to support it, which is good. I just hope it actually is stable. So then I started thinking about, well, how can I multiply out red science? Obviously I can't just wedge it in there, but there's this nice big area here with some copper behind it that would be kind of useful to put one of these in, maybe rotated 90 degrees. There's some copper back there too, and some sulfur. And we could probably use this iron, because this iron is kind of bored. Half of these miners are sitting full, so we don't need all those iron miners for what we already are using. So why not use them for another area? And we have made 7 points at this point. 7 red science it is, or at least delivered 7 red science. So delivering, making more would be advantageous. And then there's this nice big area over here too, that we could potentially do another 1 or even 2 in this area. We'd have to try that out. The problem is things like uranium and iridium alloy are going to have to go past this area in order to get there. So that might not be the best situation. But the other option is to make everything and then ship the rest of the stuff back to this area here to make those last 3 components. Or 2 or 3 components. It depends, because the AI control units need a bit more stuff here. That end of the base is for them. So do you make the AI control units and ship the aluminum in through and then ship those over to the red science, or do you? And then the same thing with the radiation cores. They're getting the iridium and the uranium from this side. So do you just make all the radiation cores right there, and with the red science, and then to ship in the AI control things? Maybe. There's aluminum up there. I just noticed that sulfur patch is actually up on the edge of the mountain as I'm rewatching this to do this recording. I didn't notice it before, but it is. So those 2 places would work out well. Maybe a third here to build these out. We've delivered 1 more point. And that's a lot. At that rate of red science, that's a lot to wait on. So not building another one is almost not an option. And I think I noticed some complaining over there in the residential district. Yeah, so we're going to head over here and see what's going on. We happen to be missing some culture from the stadium. Even though the stadium should be covering it fine, it's not. And this is another one of those, I'm not sure if it's lying or what's going on. But we are sending over those extra 2 stadiums worth of culture over here, but they just don't seem to be working as they should. So what I end up doing is taking these out, disconnecting them, and putting another stadium in the middle of these 2, and having it support these 2 housing districts, while those other 2 support the other 4. Because that ends up working out a lot better. This is 21. Because for some reason I remember that one. Then that can go in, we can paint the new district in, and then we can have that district just send over its culture to those 2 housing districts. And I got weird jagged edges there, but I end up not caring. Culture goes there, and then that ends up where we have like 1.5 stadiums for each residential district, which is another reason why maybe I should cut those down to 40. Because the stadiums seem a little bit more stable as a 1:40 ratio, rather than the 1:60 ratio. And it may be 50 or maybe something in between, but 40 seems like it might be a better option. They're complaining a little bit about sulfur, so I end up adding in another sulfur miner here. The impact is minor, so we add it in. And then we're kind of getting to the end here. So we have some plans for next time. One is to put in the red science there and expand those out. The problem is going to be running up against population. Do I want to expand another residential district in order to have enough population to make more red science? Or do I want to just let it go where I can let it go and then just ride the game out and let it run to get to those last few science researches?